Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
In the last session, we discussed about the different type of content blocks that we have. Now next step is to combine those content blocks that we can create one email message. Because that is something we are going to deliver to the customers. We cannot deliver the content block side. We have to create one email message which contains these content blocks that we can send the email message. Let's move on to our folder, and here, when we click on create button, we can see different type of option that we have for the content block that we saw, that different type of content blocks that we have and how we can create them, like in which scenario we should create which kind of content block. Now we will be talking about the email message. Now what we are going to do is we are going to talk about the email message and how we can create the email message. Now we have three different types of email messages when we are going to create. It's asked us that we have to choose one option. And how do you open to create an email message? Now, if you have seen your inbox, you must have encountered this thing that sometimes it is a text-based image. The text-based email, when you only see all the text, like if it is a password to set or OTP. Those kind of emails that generally don't have, images or maybe logo or something like that. It is a simple plain text email. Another email could be, HTML-based email where we have all these HTML code. We just want to copy and paste it, and we will paste it the HTML code and we are good to go. And the third one is a template-based. In a template-based, we can have these content blocks being utilized. We can just drag and pop all these content blocks. Let's see one by one each and every type of email message. Let's talk about the HTML first. In HTML, based as the name says HTML, it means we are not going to use the content block that we have created. But we are only going to rely on the HTML. Either we can write it from the scratch over here on the screen, or if we have a file which contains the HTML code, we can just browse that file and upload it over here. Let's say if I want to, select this file and you can select the button. Then what will happen? It will bring all the code over here and I can just develop my email message like this. And I'll save this and I can send it over here. Now here we have few buttons. Whenever you see, the one more thing whenever you come across any HTML based editor or any HTML content block, you will see these options, right? Either HTML based email message or HTML content block. You will see these small buttons. This is like undo, redo, and current like cut, copy, paste, and these things. These last four buttons. First one is the symbol one. You can add any symbol. Let's say if you want to add some checkbox. If you want to add any, like heart shape symbol or generally. Let's say a smiling face or something like. You can add some symbols. Here we have the code snippet. If you remember when we were discussing about the code snippet content block, what we can do? Either we can click on this, create new snippet button. And we can create one code snippet button. And what will happen? Like, we will give it a name. It will save the code. And then whenever we want to reuse it, we can just use it. Let's say I have this code snippet for adding a physical mailing address. Adding some personalization. I don't need to add the personalization every time. Create the email message. I don't need to write the code every time. What I'll do? I'll create a new snippet. I'll save this. And it will appear over here in the saved snippets. Every time I need to use a personalization, I'll just click on this. For example, let me remove this. And I'll add this code as snippet demo. Whatever the text or the code that is written over there, it will populate over here. If I want to insert, let's say access. This is the entire code, which is written over there. It will just fetch the code from there, and it will display over here. All these snippets would be auto-populated. And also we can create a specific one as well. Code snip. Basically, you have two options to create it. Either you can create it from here. While discussing the content block, I showed you this code snippet content block, right? When you create that one, it will appear over here. In case we want to create any personalized snippet also, that is also possible. We just have to create one code snippet content block. Like whatever they will write over there, it will fetch. On this page, these are the user defined. All we created these like snippets. And there are some snippets which are given by the system. Physical mailing address that we talked about, that we can add the physical mailing address of the company, state account, these things, forward to a friend. Apart from that, we have view email as a web page. Let's say if you want the user click. This basically gives us a link. And whenever the user click on this particular link, the email will open not in an email client, as a web page. We'll be able to see everything as a HTML on the web browser. And then we have unsubscribe center, profile center, all these things. But track email opens. The important ones are tracking. If you want to track the open activity, then we have to include this one. And the mandatory ones are profile centered. And this one, physical mailing address, we generally these two. If you want to track the email, apart from that, based on the requirement, you can the given for this. Next is a personalization. If you want to personalize, how we can do that? Personalization. That we have to populate the data on our email message from one of the field in the data extension or the list. We only have two data structure, either list or the data extension. At the end of the day, what we are doing is a personalization or the list. Personalization. That whatever the profile attributes that we have, we can use over here. For example, when we talk about the personalization, which means the field name or the attribute has to be surrounded with double percentage. If I click on get email, what it will do, it will just, surround this field with the double percentage and it becomes a personalization. These are profile attributes. Apart from that, there are personalization, which are given by the system. For example, topic whenever we will send the email, ID will be created. Now what my requirement could be that whenever I send the email, I want capture the job ID. That what is a unique job ID which is associated with the particular job, and I took save this value. I want store this value in one of the data extension. Whenever we will send the email will be created in the data that will restore the job ID. How do we store the data in data? That will be taken care by mscript. We will understand that in upcoming sessions. That how mscript and how we can perform the operation. Taking an example that how we can utilize all this system attributes, the system, personalization, subscribe, email. Let's say whenever the email is sent out, we want to capture what was the email name that was sent out, what was the subscriber key, to the email was sent out, what was the job ID, what was the member ID. ID is nothing but your this ID, which is member ID. We have, exclusive member for each every business unit. We were to capture from which business unit this email was sent. Now, we have some functions from the script. Let's say if you want to, contact something, what we can do, add the content over here. We'll understand script in detail. They have given, few functions. Frequently, function that you can, that are handy to. You can form a date, format number. In our case, we'll be discussing function in detail and how you from the, if you want, click function. That option as let the subject. One, whenever message automatically different message. Contain whenever customer ref 8 version marking message. Take a look. Don't, flexible, you know, no look at the template-based email message. Whenever we go to the template-based email message, and then we have a couple of options. Let me show you. We have 4 different, category of templates that we can choose to create our email message. What is a template? Template gives us a base structure, or it can provide a framework. On top of it, we can develop the email message. For example, whenever you go to a bank and you want to withdraw some money and you have your checkbook right, in each and every check they have this pre-filled information that here you have to mention your name, your date, your amount, everything right. We have a standard template, check as a standard template, and in which we are going to fill in some information and we are good to go. Similarly, we saw the 80 more will be email-based messages which are completely blank right. We don't have anything that we can start with. We don't have any base structure. We don't know. We have to put images, we have to put text, we have to put buttons and all. In template, which we have 4 different categories. The first one is the basic one. In the basic one, what happens is it gives us some layout. Layout means that it will give us some alignment. Here you can put some images, some text, but these will be empty blocks. They won't be anything. But it gives us an idea that what type of content block that we can place over here. For example, that if I'll go with the one column image and I'll click on the select and then it's a template-based email message. In case it is template, in case of template-based email message, 2 things happens. One thing is that we can drag and drop these content blocks and in template also it gives us a structure. Here it is saying that you can drag and drop an image block. Here you can. This is a layout content block, and within layout content block, we have a couple of different content blocks, right? We discussed about the layout content block, the combination of 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 multiple content block within it. It has some text, it has some button, it has some images, and then at the bottom we have this social follow, and then some text or something like that, right? It is giving us a structure. On top of it, we can develop our reel. What we can do? We can replace this. We can place another image. Let's say this is the image that we want to place over here, and here I want to place some text and then some button or something like that. That is something we can. Here we can do here, we can do here, we can do here. Also, we get 2 different versions. This is the HTML version and another one is the plain text version where we can see all the text. And this is the code view. What is happening is that at the time of understanding the content block, we saw that whenever we, write something on a text content block or maybe image block or anything, the HTML code will automatically be generated. What's happening over here? Because we are utilizing the content blocks and it will generate the HTML code for this, but it is a lock. We cannot make any changes over here. We can only view the HTML code. We can only view the HTML code for this particular email message, but we cannot edit this code. If you want to make any edit or if you want to change something, we can go to that particular content block and then we can make the changes over there. Let me save this now. Again, we will go to the template option, and then here we will see. The another templates are the empty templates, but it gives us again an empty structure. Here it is giving us what type of content block that you can place. Right? These are the empty content blocks, but at least they are giving us one idea that what type of content block we can place over here, maybe image, text, or button. But here it is giving us the empty layout, empty structure without any content block within it. For example, if I will go with this two-mul code, and I will click on the select button, and I will click on the select button, and I will click on the select button, and I will click on the empty template email message and click on the add button. Here it is giving us the empty blocks. I mean, it is not giving us actually the block that what kind of content is in place, but the empty structure where we can drag and drop any type of content block that we wish to. If you want to, place the text over here or anything like that, we can do. I mean, in basic also. It gives us an initial structure, but we are not just limited to use that particular structure. We can make the modifications. If we go to the basic one, we can, have the text in place of the images. We can have, buttons in place of images. Whatever we want to, changes that you want to make, we can do that. Next one is in the room. Many a times, what happens that we do not have any idea what. Here in basic ones, what is happening is it is giving us a different type of content blocks, but these are the empty content blocks, and here the content blocks itself are not there, but it gives us a empty layout in themed one. What they are doing is that they are giving us some of the, styling colors and some content and some more. Omext, not just giving us the empty content blocks, but with some, content within it, right? Where it is and some colors is starting that here you can place the logo and here can place the phone number. It is not just the empty content block, but some text within it, right? We have got the phone number. We have got this a view as that page link over here and some images and something like that. If we have a requirement where like the tampers that we have available is somewhat similar to our requirement, then we can choose that and we can, make the modifications. That probably we are not limited to what we have already over here. If you want to delete it, we can do that. You can just delete it. If you don't want this particular content block, let's say this one, we can delete this as well. Or if you want to add something additional, let's say I want to have this image block over here. I can just add it. It gives us the initial version And based on the requirement, we can make the changes according. We're discussing the theme templates and this is different styling options and some basic content that we can place in an email message. Let me just save this email message. And the fourth category that we have for the template-based email message is the saved category, right? Saved ones. Whatever we have saved, that will fall under the saved category of the templates. Let me show you real quick. Let's say we have created one, basic. We have created one email message based on a basic template, and now we want to make some changes. It has got, let's say, a header and footer, but you want to add some your social media icons in the footer as well. What I want to do is that, let's say we have already. Let's say we have already. Let me know what. I'm sure it's a safe template. How do we basically get the safe template? Let me show you the other way. Here we can two options. One is the email message, another email template, right? We have two options over here. Email message means that the message itself we are building and it is going to be delivered right, whereas a template means that we are just developing a structure. We are just developing a base, a framework that we can use to develop the emails. At the end of the day, email message is going to be delivered. Our goal is to develop the email message. We created the content blog that we can have them in our email message and we can send it to the customers. And apart from that, what we can do, we can choose one template, we can develop one template and on top of it, basically we'll use the template to create the email message. We have two different ways to create the email template. First one is the paste HTML. If we have the HTML code, what we will do? We will paste the entire code over here and we will create the template. Here we will not get the content blocks. We'll have to use the HTML code. And the next one we have is the from a listing template in which we get these four options. First one is the basic one that we discussed, empty, themed and saved. Whatever the email templates that we have saved, it will come over here under the saved template. Now the messages that we have created. Right, these are the email messages. We have different types of assets. Whatever you are able to see in Marketing Cloud, each and everything is called one asset. Right? It could be a data extension or a list or email message template. Whatever it is one asset. Now, we create the email message, but we did not create the template. Let me do one thing now. Let me pick this one and let me save this one as a template, not as an email message. Now I'm saving this as a. Let me delete this one. And what I want to do, I just want to have this one in my template. I'll save this a basic template demo and then save this. Now this is saved as a template. Now, if I go back and what I want to do, I want to create another template based on my saved template. I'll click on from L-string template, and now if I'll go to the saved option, what I'll get is the email template that we had created. I can use this one and maybe I can make some modifications and then I can create another template. We have 4 different ways to create the template. For the first one is the basic one, and then empty, and then themed, and then saved. Whatever the time is that we have saved and we have existing, we can make some changes and create another template out of it. And we can use these templates to create the email message. We have 4 different ways to create the template, and we have 3 different ways or 4 different ways to create the email message. For the email messages, we saw that first one is the HTML based, and then the text based, and then the template based, and then the existing email. Whatever the emails that we have saved in our account, we can use any of these email messages and we can make some changes. Let's say we already have one email message where the content is almost similar. Header and footer, everything is just similar. We need to make some changes in the maybe in some text, right? Maybe we need to change the date or maybe the location. That is the only change. Otherwise, all the content will remain same, right? But we don't. We don't want to make us changes in the same area because otherwise we lose that particular content, right? If you want to check what different email messages we sent and you want to have that as another email, what we will do, we will use the existing email option and we'll choose that one and we'll create another main message and we'll just make small changes as per the requirement. We looked at how we can create the email messages, different type of content blocks, different type of email templates that we have, how we can upload the images and files on the content builder. Let me show you one more thing. When we have a template-based email message, the first option that we can use to include the content block is that we can just drag and drop the content block and then we can choose the content from there. I mean, if you want to create a new content block, then what we need to do, we need to drag and drop this one and then we can create it from here, right? We have to write something and it will be saved. Another way too, and if you want to add any existing content block that we have already clicked in our account, what we can do is that we have to go to the content section and then we can add it from here. Let's click on edit button here. We'll go to the content section here of this particular tab and then it will show us all the content blocks that we have recently created. Let's say I want to add text content block over here and after that I want to add the name content block. whatever the content blocks that we have created, we can just drag and drop over, right? And then we can add some social media icons and that in layout. Let's say if you want to add any layout, or you can just quickly drag and block this one, and then you can add the content blocks within it, right? And then the last is the design part. In design, you can add the color, what you can do design like in terms of the template. If you want to change something, a background or content background or anything like that, to the entire template or to the entire body, and then if you want to change the styling of buttons that you have, right, you can design the entire email message based on the options that we have. Let me receive the changes, and in the content builder, as we have discussed earlier, that it is not just limited to the email message or the email content, but we can keep and design the content for each and every communication channel. Here you will understand that how we can create the SEMS message, how we can create the in-app messages, push notifications. But before that, let's talk about the mobile studio first, that you get the basic understanding of the mobile communication and all these things. You will understand SMIMS more better than we will create the SEMS message over here. Let's switch to the mobile studio, and then we'll come back to the content builder to discuss about the SEMS messages and personal notifications. Now, most of things will remain same as the email communication in SIMS. The way we send the email message, we need, the firm email address. We need the email address for recipient. We need one, email client, or we need one application using which we can send the email, right? And we need the email content that needs to be delivered. There are a couple of things that you require. Similarly, if you want to send the SIMs, what are things that we require? And then, for example, if I tell you to send the SIMs to me from your phone, what are the things that you will require? Anybody want to share something? Sorry, I didn't get you. Like, if you want to send SIMs to me, I mean, how you can send the SIMs to me? I mean, what are the information that you would require if I tell you to, send me some information via SIMS number, your mobile number. Yes, you need my mobile number. Anything apart from this? I mean, imagine that you don't have the mobile phone as well with you, and you want to create it from the scratch. You want to set up everything. First of all, you will have to have a mobile phone device, right? Yes, and inside that you will have to have a SIM card. You will have to go to the SIM vendor, and you will purchase one SIM card. You will insert it within it, and then that you can activate your mobile number, and then you need the SIMS message that needs to be delivered. There is some information, some SIMS message. There are a couple of things. First of all, you need one device, and then the SIM card, and then the recipient's mobile number, and the SIMS message that needs to be given. The same thing we are going to see in Marketing Cloud in we have this mobile device. In replace of that, we have a Marketing Cloud as a tool that we will use to send the SIMs, right? We are going to need one application. We generally have this SIMS application in our mobile phone that we click, and then we draft one SIMS message, and then we click on the send button, right? Similarly, in Marketing Clouds, when we have an application called Mobile Studio, and inside that we have Mobile Connect, where we are going to draft our SIMS message. We're going to click on the send button, and then the message will be sent. But we need to set up all these things right in. Whenever we send this from our mobile device, we need to insert the same car. We have to purchase that. Here what happens? We don't have, general use mobile numbers, but we have something called short code and the long code. We will be discussing about this in detail. But what happens? In order to set up the entire process, first of all, we have to purchase this marketing tool. And after that, we should also have this mobile connect, including our addition or including our package. We have this application that we'll use to send the service. Apart from that, we need a short code or a non-code write. We have to fill in the form and submit the form to the authority that they can assign, or they can give us one short code. Once we have procured the short code, and this is associated with our mobile application or like with our mobile connect, then what happens? We have this tool ready, we have this short word, and everything is ready. Now next step is to create the email message. We will be creating the email messages, saving the email message over here. All these things are done. The next thing is that we need to send this email message. Send this SIMS message. If you want to send it, what do we need? We need the recipient's mobile number and where we are going to store this. We are not going to, send one by one. If you want to send this to REST, 1,000 subscribers, we need to store these numbers somewhere, right? And we have two structures only in Marketing Cloud. One is a list or the data extension. Either we are going to use the list or the data extension to store the information of all the customers, and then we are going to use that data extension to send the SIMs finally to those customers. This is how we are going to set up a book. We need Marketing Cloud tool, we will short code, we need SIMS message, and we need a recipient's phone number. If you want to send us, we'll be discussing all these things in detail. But this was the overview that how we can send the SIMs from the marketing. I have sent you, more than 1 lakh customers, and we did not face any issue. Generally, there's no hard limit of search. When we talk about the mobile studio, it means it is always it is all about the mobile communication. But mobile communication is not just limited to the mobile connect or maybe to the SIMS messages. We have more than that. We can reach out to the customers on their devices via the apps that they have installed, right? If we'll talk about the Amazon.com, we generally have these apps installed in our mobile device, and companies generally reach out to us via the push notifications. These days, Zomato, Suji, they send us the push notifications. In the day, in the morning and in the evening, right? We keep receiving these push notifications. Now the companies just don't have one way to communicate, but they have multiple channels. Let's say if we have Line messaging app or the Facebook Messenger, and the company has our Line It or Facebook It, then they can reach out to us via the Facebook messaging app as well, or the Line app as well. We will understand these things. Mobile Connect is specifically used for the SIMs and MS text messages. If you want to send the SIMs and MUs, we are going to use Mobile Connector. Next one, we have the Mobile Push. If company wants to send you the push notifications, but this is only possible, then the customer has installed their application on their mobile device. Otherwise, we won't be able to send the push notifications to them. And then it is not giving us the option over here, but it is basically the Group Connect. Group Connect is to send the message on the messaging applications. Let's talk about the Mobile Connect first of all in detail. Whenever we want to send the SIMS message, we discuss that. We would need either a short code or a long code if you want to send the SIMS. One similar to, we need a mobile number if you want to send the SIMS from our mobile device. Let's just go over the short code and long code and difference between them. Short code is a 5 to 6 digit number. You must have seen this many times, like 6, 8, 7 or something like that. Companies like, Pizza Hut, and they generally have this offer that if you want to have a free pizza, then you send us a message on this particular number, 5676 or something like that, right? Or maybe maybe there is some campaign going on, and we have this billboard, and they say that if you want to participate here, then send us the message. These short numbers are called the short code. Short code are used for the bulk messaging. Let's say if you want to communicate something to 1000 of customer site, what we'll do? We will use the short code. Let's say if there's a new notification that you. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.